Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Foley, and I'm so ecstatic to welcome you all to episode 6 of The Village. So, thanks for all of your support, your feedback, your questions. Go ahead, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Drop a question below if you have one. I'm here for you. I'm not a psychologist, but I am here to help. I love The Village. I love where it's going, where it's headed, and I just want to keep thriving. So, today we're discussing education, esteem, and relationships. All right, let's get the show started. So my first question reads, "Hey Dr. Foley, my passion is both changing lives and education. But which is more important, impacting lives as education is not needed to reach the homeless and sick, or education which can take me far and indirectly change lives? Or is it possible to focus on both and still be as effective?" So first, you know that I'm going to support whatever endeavor that you put forth the effort into achieving. I do believe that you're capable of doing both. If you want to help the homeless, do that. If you want to educate, do that. Through both processes, you will change lives infinitely. So never feel like you have to be subjected to doing just one thing in life, especially if you feel like your calling is requiring you to do a multitude of things. All these things may be related, so you never want to block out those things that really sit on your heart in terms of what you're trying to do with your life. So yes, I say that you can do both. Help the homeless and change the world through education. Village. Okay. My next question reads, what if I don't know what I want to be in the future, but still want to go to college, but not sure which college I should go to? Also, my parents won't allow me to go out of state because basically they want me to stay close to home. So, what should I do? So, in terms of preparing yourself for college or the colleges that you would like to attend right now, I would say maybe narrow it down to the top 4 or 5 colleges. And if your parents are wanting you to stay in state, that may be for a multitude of reasons. I'm not sure, but one of the reasons may be because of the financial aspect of college. So you know that if you stay in state, then your tuition wouldn't be as high, things of that nature. So I would suggest researching all the colleges that you would like to attend that specialize or are infamous for your specific major that you want to pursue. And then from there, I would definitely make the decision of narrowing down those schools. And if one just so happens to be in Georgia, that might not be a bad idea. So you have, all of your life to go everywhere. And I'm not saying that going out of state for a college experience is a bad thing, because I think that is a great thing as well. But there might be underlying issues as to why your parents don't want you to leave. So first, I would really try to get to the bottom of that. From there, I would narrow it down to schools that specialize within my degree. From there, I would look at the requirements and then try to determine which schools you feel will be the best fit for you. So I don't know. I suggest you put that plan to action. Talk with your parents, maybe discuss with them, the options, the pros and the cons of you leaving and not leaving. See, listen for their input regarding that and go from there. Village. All right. So now let's go into the esteem portion of the show. So once again, you all, I am not a psychologist. I am just an educator that cares. I want to see you all be successful in life, regardless of what it is that you want to do. Right. So my first question reads, Dr. Foley, please provide some tips on how to have a positive mindset. So I understand when you're going through, it is very difficult to have a positive mindset. So for me, what I personally do is just focus on the fact that I am alive, that I'm breathing, that I'm up, all of my limbs are working. I can do pretty much, whatever it is that I need to do, because some people are not in those, as fortunate circumstances. So you have to just be grateful for being alive. Next, I would suggest that you focus on the positive things that are going on in your life. Now, we know that negative things always find some kind of way to creep in, settle into our thoughts, but focusing on the positive really does make a difference. So whenever you feel as if you're going to have a negative mindset breakdown, for me, what I personally do is sometimes I'll memorize a quote. And when I feel myself being negative, and I know that because I know that's not healthy, I'll recite the quote. Or maybe you can get you a band that reminds you to have a positive mindset, different things like that. So, what I'm really saying is just try your hardest not to focus on the negative, because there's always going to be negative at some point in your life. But the outcome, how you deal with it, how you bounce back from the negative, what's going to determine or predict how positive your life will be. So know that you have control over how positive you are, how positive the outcomes of your life will be. So focus on the good, ditch the bad, and keep it moving. Village. All right, my next question reads, how do I get over my shyness? So, believe it or not, for a long time I was actually shy. I know that's weird, a teacher that's shy. I'm no longer shy, but I feel like it was because I stepped outside of my comfort zone. I started speaking to people that I didn't know, maybe joining groups or clubs. That's what I would suggest at school. Find students with your same likes, your same interests. But sometimes you do have to step outside of yourself to not be shy, because at one point in time I really found out that being shy is equivalent, or it was equivalent for me, to just being plain old lonely. And after a while it was kind of like, well, I need to do something about this right now. I need to do something about this right now, or I'll continue to have this insecurity. So being shy, that is something that is serious. I'm not saying that it's something that should be taken lightly, but there are certain things that you're going to have to do. So that means you're going to have to get the courage to step outside of your comfort zone if you want to eliminate the shyness. Now, it may not go 100% away, but you can begin taking those small steps to make sure that you're allowing the world to really see who you are. So you want your voice to be heard. Nothing wrong with being shy, but you want your voice to be heard. You want people to know that you are who you are and you firmly believe in that. So as stated before, I would just suggest maybe joining clubs, maybe finding students with like interests, maybe creating your own club. You never know. There may be students who have the same interests as you, and there may not just be a social avenue for you all to connect, possibly speaking to classmates in class that you don't normally talk to. So these are the things you're going to have to almost push yourself to do, but in the end, it'll be a great thing. So, like I said, you won't ever probably 100% get rid of your shyness, but you can start taking those small steps to conquer what you're dealing with right now. All right. And my next question reads, how do I deal with my emotional distress? Lately, I've been overwhelmed, with a heavy feeling of sadness and frustration between school, my family, and the people around me. Most of the time, I feel irritated, depressed, and overall unhappy. So, once again, you have to be happy for the single fact that you have life. Like, never take life for granted. So, sure, certain things may be going on in your life that you're not getting your way 100%. But as stated before, you all have to focus on the positive. And that may mean, you know, negating the negative. That's what that means. That means you have to negate the negatives to the best of your ability. So listen to music that encourages you. That is a stress reliever. When I'm irritated, or I feel not really depressed, or maybe distressed, or I'm having anxiety or something like that, I listen to motivational music to get me pumped up and to remind me that I was put here for a purpose, and not to sit around and wallow in my sadness and irritation, because what I was put here for is greater than that. So you too have to have a positive mindset. You can't allow the circumstances of the world to get you down, because that's what they're here for. They're here to get you down. But what matters at the end of the day is how you bounce back. So when you're sad and you're frustrated, I would just strongly suggest finding things that you find, doing things that you find fun, relaxing, listening to music. Sometimes that may mean, for some people, taking a relaxing bath. Whatever it is that you need to do to take your mind off of the negative in your life, I strongly suggest that you do it, because you don't want your negative thoughts or your negative emotions to surround you, because then it could possibly or eventually become a part of your everyday life or your everyday world. And you don't want that. I don't want that for you. I want you to live a positive, happy life despite obstacles that you may encounter. You still can be happy. You still can keep a positive mindset. All right, so let's go ahead and move to the relationships portion of the show. So my question reads, sorry, Dr. Foley, me and my girlfriend have been dating for a while now, and one thing that keeps getting in the way of our progress is my past relationship. I don't care for the past nor think about it. I'm completely over it. My girlfriend is constantly hearing things about my past relationship with me through friends and random people she meets along the way. She gets so upset and has periods where she doesn't want to talk to me. I'm very in love with my girlfriend and wish I could make her happy. All I want is her happiness, and I just can't seem to get it. Please help me because I don't want to lose her over my past. So your past is your past for a reason, and your girlfriend has to understand that. Like, she has to believe that whatever happened in the past should stay in the past. And in order for you all to move forward in a healthy manner, that she's going to have to trust you regardless of what she's going to hear, because the naysayers will be around. Some people will bring up things just to make her possibly uncomfortable. I'm not saying that's the case, but I know that I've been in situations like that where I may have felt a little insecure about an ex, and they were brought up, to make me feel some kind of way. So, to the best of your ability, assure your girlfriend that you are here for her, that you're all about her, and that your past is your past. But it's going to take her to fully understand and believe that. So I'm not saying go out of your way to convince her, because your word should be good enough unless you give her another reason not to trust you. But if she loves you and she takes you for face value and you provide value in her life, I believe that she should understand where you're coming from, understand that it's a past, and that in order for you all to move forward, you can't harbor on things that are in the past. You have to focus on now. Is your relationship healthy now? Are you happy now? And go from there. The past is the past for a reason. I have a quote on my Instagram page that says, "Don't look back. You're not going that way." So that same thing applies to relationships. If you're in a healthy space right now, the girlfriend at this point, don't damage that space with insecurity or bringing up things from the past, especially if your boyfriend hasn't given you a reason to believe any of those things. So that's my advice. Not a psychologist, not a relationship expert, but I do believe that a certain level of trust has to be there. And if it was fully there, I'm not sure how much of a problem this would really be. So you all get the trust going, stay happy, don't reflect on past relationships. He's with you now, you're with him now. Just be happy, move forward, motivate each other, encourage each other, and be great. All right. My next question reads, how can I build my 2-year relationship stronger after lies, disrespect, and cheating? So I have so many questions in regards to this question. So I would probably have to talk to you to fully understand the scenario. So I would want to know, are you saying that both of you all were capable of lying, disrespecting each other, and cheating? Was it just one side? But I know a lot of times I have been guilty of this, even though that I knew that the relationship was toxic. And I'm not saying that your relationship is toxic, but when you're used to something and it seems like that's as good as it gets, or this is just how it's supposed to go, or maybe you've seen this in other relationships, so you feel as if, this is how my relationship should be, when in reality, it shouldn't. You have to sit back and analyze what's healthy about that relationship. So lying to each other, we know that's not healthy. That's not going to do anything for the trust factor. The disrespect shouldn't be tolerated. None of this should be tolerated, but the disrespect, the cheating, if both parties are guilty of that, you both need to come together and really sit down and discuss whether or not you want to pursue the relationship in a healthy manner, because this is not healthy. And sometimes when we're not in healthy relationships, it becomes the norm, or we think that's okay. So we stick around and stay. Despite all of these negative things that may happen, we still stay. And I'm here to let you know that at the end of the day, you don't have to do that, especially if you know that you're not really happy. And I'm not saying that you are not happy, but the mere fact that, lies, disrespect, and cheating, that's a lot. And that's a lot for a high school student to kind of bear at this stage in your life. So just really be clear. Both of you all really need to be clear about your intentions. If it's something that you want to do, are you both even capable of not lying, disrespecting each other, or cheating? Because I don't want you in a toxic relationship just because you're used to being in a toxic relationship that becomes the norm for you. So that's never good for anybody. So I say self-assess, sit down with this young man, this young woman, you all authentically discuss what it is that you want. Do you all believe that you're capable of moving forward after this? Because 2 years is a long time. And like I said, I'm still unclear about a lot of the details, but I'm just going off of what you've given me. But sometimes you do have to let go. And sometimes that person comes into your life and they keep coming back and they keep coming back and you keep allowing them. you want different results, but you keep doing the same thing. So we know that that's across the board, that really doesn't make sense. So if you want things to be different, you have to do things differently. That may mean having a conversation or ending the relationship altogether. If you know you're not happy, if you know it's not healthy, if it's not helping you in the long run, you may have to let it go. Village. All right. And my last question of the day reads, my 16th birthday is in less than a week, but I'm not excited at all. How do I tell one of my closest friends that I don't want her around on my birthday because of the possibility she might make the mood even worse? So, what I would suggest doing is you can do a multitude of things. It just depends on how close you are with this person. Can you tell them 100% the truth and they'll take it at face value, or will they overreact or not listen or get angry? So I guess it really just depends on the friend. But if this is your one of your closest friends, I'm wondering why you wouldn't want her there and what kind of attitude does she present on a regular basis. I'm not understanding exactly how she would make the mood even worse, because if it's your birthday, I need you to get excited because you're going to be here to see another year. So everybody around you should be excited about that. So if she's your one of your closest friends and she's a part of your life like that, I would talk to her maybe about bringing down the mood, and truthfully talk to her about bringing down the mood, or maybe how sometimes her mood or attitude changes the environment depending on where you're at, and then go from there. I wouldn't just straight up say, hey, I don't want you at my party because your attitude sucks. I wouldn't say that. I would just try a more subtle approach, figure out why she may have a mood or why she may get angry or different things like that. Because if this is your closest friend, you don't want to end a friendship over something hurtful. If I was in this girl's position and you called me up and you said, hey, I don't want you at my party because of your mood, that probably would really hurt my feelings to a point of where I would even question if we were really friends. So, I feel like a friend would just really have that truthful talk with her, about her attitude, and maybe provide instances on how she may have had an attitude in the past. You just never know. But don't just hit her with the you can't come, because I think that's going to be conflictual. So I would just suggest talking to her about her attitude. Tell her what kind of vibe you would like to have at your party, what kind of day you want to have overall. And truthfully ask her, does she feel like she's capable of doing that for you on your special day? So if she's a friend, I'm sure she'll say yes. And I highly doubt she'll say no, but I guess more or less it depends on how you approach the situation. All right. So, you all, it's about that time. Please be sure to tune in this Thursday. I will be here. I know I wasn't here last week. I apologize. I have a lot going on in my life, but I still and will always make time for the village. So, once again, I'm not a psychologist, but I love the village. I love you all. I want to see you all prosper and do great in life. Follow me on Instagram. Email me, askdrfoley@gmail.com. Leave your questions below the video. Please watch the video. Please tell your friends to watch the video. I want to help. I still hear a lot of students as I walk through the halls with all these different scenarios and problems. And no, I'm not saying that you have to tell me your business, because as stated before, I'm not a psychologist, but I do want to help you all. I do want to help you all navigate through the issues in life. All right, Village, until next time. Peace.